What's up, guys? Your boy, 20K13. I'm going to talk about 7 Up and 7 Down from WWE Payback 2015. The seemingly never-ending parade of WWE pay-per-view continues Sunday night with Payback, a hastily assembled affair that exceeded low expectations and delivered special quality matches. A hot crowd that reacted to nearly everything and stayed strong throughout the night certainly added something, but the performers definitely upped their game. Payback was the second of four special events taking place within a 7-week span from late April through mid-June, a rapid-fire run that could lead to a dirty overdose among fans. On paper, there really wasn't much to draw people in. Extreme Rules, Elimination Chamber, and Money in the Bank all had their gimmick matches to sell each event. Payback offered 7 matches on the main card, with the only gimmick being a 2 out of 3 fall tag title match, a fatal 4-way for the WWE World Championship, and an I Quit match for the United States Championship. Despite the rush, nondescript nature of the pay-per-view, those who watched were treated to solid matches overall and an evening that breezed by. Being in a period where you sometimes walk away from dirty programming cringing, having an enjoyable evening is a welcome occasion. So what put butts in the seat and what sent fans heading for the exit? Let's find out. I'm gonna do the downside. Number 7, a king size dilemma. It's hard to call this a down, but the third encounter between Neville and King Bed pretty much left the door wide open for a fourth match between the two Brits. And while every bout they had been pretty entertaining, WWE is planning itself into a probable corner with this one. Bear is in need of some serious momentum after winning the King of the Ring tournament last month. Otherwise, it's just another meaningless achievement for him. Sure, Bear can lose a few here and there, but not the first one after winning the King of the Ring. Neville had made great strides in his first 6 weeks on the main roster, and it's obvious WWE brass is high on him, so losing to Bear could slow him down a little. What to do? Booking a count-out victory for Neville really was a cop-out, unless WWE is going to blow things off in the Elimination Chamber for the Intercontinental Championship. In that case, having Neville capture the title by beating Bear could be an interesting course, especially if Neville come out of it with a new challenger. This is one where it really isn't a negative on its face, but WWE's history of mishandling situations like this has to give you pause. Ideally, this rivalry would be well booked and elevate both men. Time would tell in this case. Number 6, Battle of the Insignificant. Not every match on pay-per-view can be a main event in any arena, but some matches that come across our screen just leave fans scratching their heads. Take the bonus Payback kickoff match between R-Truth and Stardust. These two define directionless right now, as they both have lost at least twice as many televised matches as they won this year. It also doesn't help when the announcer tries to make this into a real feud, claiming that the match stemmed from long-standing issues between the two, specifically the King of the Ring qualifying 3 weeks ago. Of course, there was the match on Raw 2 weeks ago that Stardust won by bringing a bag of fake spiders to the ring, so the stakes had been raised heading into this match. Snark aside, throwing 2 guys out there like this for a match that no one has any reason to care about does absolutely nothing to help either competitor. Give us a reason to care about these guys or don't put them out there, and leave the spiders at home too. Number 5, flashing too much. For whatever reason, there seems to be a new trend during WWE televised events, where some idiot fan, opposite the hard camera, wave his or her cell phone flashlight at the camera whenever it is focused on the ring. This forces the camera to zoom in more to crop the annoying fan out of the shot or make rapid cut to other cameras. The result is a distraction that keeps growing until security shuts it down, hopefully kicking the fan out of the arena. This happened on Raw a couple of weeks back, resulting in the same tight shot and rapid cut. Seeing it again Sunday raised a concern that this is a new trend that could continue. There is no reason for this to take place, and hopefully WWE will find a way to quickly nip this in the bud. Number 4. Mega Dud. It's bad enough that the actual manager Macho Man that tribute quickly devoted into parody, but when the match simply becomes an opportunity for an announcer to work in as many insider jokes as possible, you know you have a horrible gimmick. JBL spent the entire match, all 3 minutes, burying the gimmick and working in reference to Nacho Man and the Huckster from the then WWF billionaire Ted stretches during the Monday Night War, and fake Razor and Diesel, another Monday Night War era deal. To top it off, the Ascension made short work of Curtis Axel and Damien Sandow, who both are infinitely more talented than Connor and Victor. If this was the one and only appearance of the duo and this crushing defeat knocked them to their sense, then count this as a positive. But instead, we probably get 3 more weeks of this before the two split up and feud. WWE will probably have a diva stand in for Miss Elizabeth too, just to make it worse. Number 3. Kane stays the course. In the lead up to Payback, Kane emerged as the central antagonist to Seth Rollins' title reign, setting him up in a super threat match, then opening the door to add Dean Ambrose to the match. The sight of a conflicted Kane being pushed around by a spoiled champion got fans to jump behind the big red machine for the first time in what felt like eon. It felt like we were on the verge of Kane stepping out from his corporate suit and re-emerging as an individual force again. Alex, we got the status quo Sunday night after weeks of going from the least interesting character in the WWE main event scheme to a central figure. Kane bucked all conventional wisdom and remained a loyal company man. An argument could be made that his loyalty to Triple H and the authorities supersede his hatred of Rollins, but Kane almost seemed gleeful to interfere in the fatal 4-way, which he did so liberally throughout the match. Kane could have at least appeared somewhat conflicted or resigned to getting involved, but it was easy to lose count of the number of times he interfered. While we could see Kane and Rollins at each other's throat again as soon as Monday, it felt like a lost opportunity at Payback. Number 2. Pay-per-view Palooza. While Payback delivered several solid matches and managed to not be offensive, save really for the pre-show, it sadly will be forgotten almost immediately, as WWE had to begin building up to Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks. While seeing the Elimination Chamber make a return is welcome, jumping straight into another pay-per-view so soon leaves little to no time to actually digest what happened at Payback. In fact, when you consider that Money in the Bank would take place 2 weeks after Elimination Chamber, it would be 4 WWE pay-per-views in a 7-week span. Throw in the King of the Ring special too, and you got 5 events. And that doesn't even count NXT TakeOver Unstoppable. It's nearly impossible to become invested in the outcome of one event when there's another literally around the corner. On the one hand, it's good to see WWE take advantage of the network for stuff like King of the Ring and Elimination Chamber, but bunching stuff up like this could very easily lead to fan burnout and apathy. Number 1. Who quit? WWE backed itself into a corner at Payback by booking an awkward match between a nearly indestructible Bulgarian brute and a grappler whose entire mantra is never give up. So what's the easy, cheap way out of that? Have someone else say the word for one other wrestler. The problem with this is the stipulation itself. Eden very clearly spelled it out by saying that the only way to win is to make your opponent literally say the word, I quit. This step reared its ugly head toward the end when Rusev made John Cena pass out in the accolade, which in any other type of match would have won the United States Championship for him. But since Cena never said the word, the match continued. Fast forward to the end when Rusev hooked in the STF yelling and presumably Bulgarian, and Lana jumped into the ring, grabbed the mic and said that Rusev quit, which the ref took to be good enough to call for the bell. So does that mean that Rusev simply should have kept beating on an unconscious Cena earlier until someone ran out from the back to quit for him? Okay, it's professional wrestling, not a court case. There are going to be loopholes and logic gaps, but this just defies any logic at all. It might be a plot point to break up Lana and Rusev, but come on. Now the ups. Number 7. Another diva duo rise up. Like it or not, the Bella Twins are the face of the diva division in WWE. Since returning in 2013, they have been front and center on WWE programming, whether it's promoting Total Divas or dominating in the ring. The sudden retirement of AJ Lee certainly did not help shake up that image. That's why it was refreshing to see Naomi undergo a character change and enlist the help of her cousin Tamina to take on the Bellas, and then defeat them convincingly at Payback. Regardless of all the comments that the Bellas are improved in the ring, they still lag behind several female competitors, most notably the majority of NXT women's roster. The Twins still have a role to play in WWE, but being a dominating force should not be it. Watching Naomi, who busted out Chris Jericho's arrogant cover, and Tamina take out the Bellas was a welcome sight, and hopefully there is a sea change coming. With NXT competitors like Charlotte and Sasha Banks ready to make an impact in WWE, that change hopefully will be coming soon. Number 6. Battle of the Big Guys. Call it the advantage of having low expectations, but Ryback vs. Bray Wyatt was better than what anyone could have expected. The feud popped up out of nowhere a couple weeks ago after Wyatt's cryptic promo found their target, Ryback. It could have been an interesting pairing, but Ryback got in my way reason it didn't help matter. However, the duo put in solid work at Payback, delivering a hard-hitting match that saw Lucia Bray hit a senton from the ring apron to the floor and air Ryback with the big guy hitting a top rope splash. It wasn't a great match, but they had fans hanging in there throughout the bout. The power move and false finishing, coupled with Wyatt doing an exposed turnbuckle to win, give fans more than they bargained for. Does this make this a worthwhile feud? It's doubtful, but at least they put on a good show for their first match. Number 5. A new era for a new day. A couple months ago, it looked like Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods would soon be vanishing to superstars and WWE main event, never to sniff the main program again unless they were cannon fodder. The New Day was greeted with absolute silence and no one seemed to care from the minute the trio stepped on stage until they went back behind the curtain. Then a funny thing happened. The group turned up its message of positivity several notches and began dialing in small doses of sarcasm, which started to elicit a response from the crowd. Years Since then, they have continued to turn up the sarcasm and snarmy attitude, which had turned them into a full-fledged heel act, and they played that to the hilt, giving the New Day new life. Throw in Wood trying to use the Freebird rule to enter the match between Fall, which was predicted here, and then illegally stubbing in to steal the deciding fall, and you have a group that Sully has led. Let's hope WWE doesn't bail on them too soon. Number 4, a little color. Ever since WWE went PG, the instant of bloodshedding matches have been extremely limited, typically to accident. Lately, however, we've seen more and more situations where wrestlers have gotten a little color in their matches, whether this is a slight reversal of policy. If done correctly, a little blood can add something to a match. Case in point, Dolph Ziggler was making a comeback against Sheamus. He threw a headbutt, only to be busted wide open. Almost immediately, he went from being on offense to 2 days to function and ate a blow kick, seconds later to lose. The sight of blood magnified how injured Ziggler was, tempering his loss a little. At the same time, it made Sheamus look like a killer, standing over a bloodied and beaten opponent. It will be interesting to see if this was something that was authorized, or if it truly was accidental. Even if the higher up okayed it, chances are we'll get the same denial we did about Brock Lesnar bleeding at WrestleMania, which was another effective use of bloodshed to drive a bigger narrative. Number 3, Rusev and Cena give fair warning. Rusev and John Cena were not reserved in repeatedly having referee Mike Chikota ask the other if he quit. In fact, they sometimes wanted their opponent asked multiple times in a matter of seconds. But one of the better uses of the question came before several big moves. Rusev started the trend asking Cena if he quit, or else he would get whipped into the steel step set up inside the ring. Cena pulled the same stunt before crashing. Rusev threw the timekeeper, barricading again before bashing the Bulgarian brute with a metal barricade. The pre-intentative request was a cool wrinkle to the typical only ask if your opponent quit after every big move by asking before a big painful move. Cena and Rusev left it that their opponent only had himself to blame if he took the punishment. It also made the wrestler think about the pain that was coming if they answered no. That in some way is better than simply beating them to a pulp. Make them think about the beating that's coming. Number 2, a Shield mini reunion. Ever since their breakup a year ago, fans have clamored for the day when all 3 members of the Shield reunite. We got our first taste of what that reunion will feel like Sunday night when Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns combined to triple powerbomb Randy Orton through an announce table. The crowd reacting to the powerbomb and mini reunion was off the chart. If it had been the real deal, fans would have collectively lost their mind. As it turned out, it was simply a one-off. The trio combined to take out Orton. Ambrose and Reigns no-stole Rollins' attempt at a Shield fist bump and gained up on him, sending the fans again into a frenzy. The simple truth is, the members of the Shield are easily 3 of the most popular guys on the roster, and if they were to reform, the crowd reaction would be deafening. Sunday mini reunion planting the seed ever so slightly that we could see something like that in the not too distant future. If handled properly, it could be huge. For now, maybe WWE should just run triple threat matches between all 3 regularly, as they now have to deliver entertainment performance whether they are teaming or mortal enemies. Number 1. Tag Team Wrestling takes center stage. If Sunday New Day vs. Cesaro Kid match doesn't encourage WWE to go back to contesting all tag team championship matches at 2 out of 3 falls, then something is wrong with the company. The tag title bout was a show stealer with all 5 men, counting Xavier Woods, deliver a collectively awesome performance. The team hit some incredible moves that amplified while fans still love tag team wrestling. Tyson Kidd timing Cesaro delayed vertical suplex before helping to force Kofi Kingston to the ground. Kidd catapulted into a spine buster and giant swing dropkick for the first fall. Big E spins Cesaro through the rope and out of the match. Kidd then having no one to tag for the rest of the second fall, and the backbreaker springboard elbow combo from Cesaro and Kidd. Describing those moves doesn't do them justice. Both teams have fans eating out of their hands. And it was a second look. Of course, the finish, Xavier Woods sneaking in to steal the final pin after falling to successfully using the Freebird rule earlier. Perfectly capped the match with the first man holding down a spin Cesaro. This match showed why a 2 out of 3 fall match still is an awesome tool to break out. Perhaps WWE should revert to the old Saturday Night Main Event deal for tag title matches and have them always be held under 2 out of 3 fall rule. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.